Hello everyone and welcome to this Groovy JMeter tutorial series. In this particular tutorial, we will learn about the operators in Groovy. So let's begin. Just like any other programming language, we have operators in Groovy as well. Now, what are the operators? Operators are basically used to perform some operations. Now, these operations can be any calculations, any logical operation. So when we talk about the mathematical calculations like addition, subtraction, so these all are basically operations, and these operations are being done through the operators. So you need to go to this official website of the Groovy, click on this documentation, and here you will see the operators over here. Just click on this one. So we have different categories of the operators in the Groovy. So we have arithmetic operators. Arithmetic means that if we need to do some kind of mathematics like addition, subtraction, division, remainder, power, so all the symbols are provided over here. You can use those when you're performing some arithmetic operations. Then we have unary operators like this one. Then we have assignment arithmetic operator. The binary arithmetic operators, as we see above, also available in an assignment form, which means that we will be assigning and doing a arithmetic operation as well. We will see this practically shortly, but right now we have then relational operators, then we have logical operators, then we have bitwise operators. If we go down, conditional operators. So there are so many, but what we will do is that we will pick up the common ones and do some practical. But you need to go to their official website and just go through all these operators and understand that when you should use these operators when you are working with the Groovy JMeter scenarios. Now open the JMeter and see this practically. Simply go to the JMeter over here, and inside this taskbar, let's right click on this one, go to add, go to threads, then thread group, and then inside this thread group we need to add a sampler. So right click on this one, add sampler, then JSR223 sampler, click on this one. Now start with the very basic arithmetic operations which are used for the calculations. Okay, so what I'll do is that I'll create a variable a is equals to 15, then def b is equals to 4. Okay, now let's perform some addition on this one, and we'll say println. Either we can go with the println and say a plus b, right? And simply run this one, and just run this one. So inside the console, you will see that we have got the answer because it done the additional thing, like 15 plus 4 is basically 19. In a similar way, you can go with a minus b and run this one, and you will see that we have 11 over here. Now you can do more calculations, for example, like division here as well. I will say, for example, a, then I'll say multiply b, right? And here, let me, instead of 15, let's go with 5. So 5 into 4 is basically 20. So you will get the 20 answer over here in the console. So you can perform anything like multiplication, simple division. So for division, you need to use this / and run this one, and here again you will see that the answer is 1.25. and just like you need to go to their official website over here to understand what are the symbols you need to use in order to perform those operations. For example, here you see that for addition you need to use this, for division you need to use this, then for multiplication you need to use this, and for the power you need to use static twice. So if I go here and let's try this one, that was static. So 5 power 4, right? So run this one, and here you will get the result in the console, which is 625, right? So that's how you can perform the calculation in the Groovy, and this is how you can perform the calculations within the JMeter using the JSR22 plugin. And these are basically, we will learn about the different scenarios where you need to perform some calculation in order to work with the performance scenarios later on. But right now, just understand that how we can use the arithmetic operators within the JMeter. Okay. And then we have an assignment operator. So assignment operator means that we are assigning a value, and at the same time we are basically doing the arithmetic operation. Okay. So what I'll do is that we know that a is equals to 5. Okay. Now what I'll do is that we will be doing assignment operator, right? So I will say a plus equals to like 10. So what it will do is that it will add as well as assign the value. Okay. So if I go here and print a, so it will print the value. Let's print ln a and then this one. So it's not printing anything. So basically there's a space over here plus equals to. And now let's run this one. And this time you will see that we got the 15 answer. Basically it added 5 to the 10. You can similarly do with the like multiplication, like 5 multiplied by 10, right? And if I run this one, you will see that we have a value 50, right? You can also do the simple assignment. So here in the first step, we have assigned a value to a variable a. So this is a simple assignment. Here, what we did is that we have done assignment with the operator, which are the arithmetic one, like assigning, and at the same time, we are performing an operation as well, right? So this is what we have done. Then we have relation, like if we want to compare something, we can go with the relational comparison operators. So for example, if I say like this is 15 and this is, for example, I will say if b is equals to 10. Now we can compare this one like a is equals to b. So obviously a is not equals to b in this case, so it will return false, right? So if I go here, it will say false. But if I say 15 is equals to 15, so this will now return a true, right? Let me show you again. It will return a true over here. So in order to compare the different values when you are working with the different response times, different values, so these operators are really useful because you need to compare what you want. For example, you're saying that your expected response time should be less than 1 second, 2 seconds, or whatever your criteria is. So you can write the script here and compare the value here as well. Okay. So just like this one, if I go here, you go with the not equals to. So not equals to is basically this exclamation mark, then equal sign and equal to b. Now a is not equal to b, which is true, so it should return a true value over here. Then we have logical operators. So logical operators are basically used to evaluate the multiple conditions when you have more than one condition. Right now, here we are comparing a is either equal to b or a is not equal to b, right? This is one condition. But what if I say a is equal to b and b is equal to c, then print d, right? So here we have a multiple condition. So whenever you're dealing on the multiple condition, you need to go with the logical operators, and the logical operators are and or. Okay, so simply if I say a is equals to b, and here I say left c is equals to 10. Okay, and I will say print ln a is equals to b and a is equals to c. So we are saying that A is equals to B and A is equals to C. Now here we are using AND. So AND means that if this statement is true and this statement is true, then it will only return a true value. So both needs to be true. In other combination, it will be false. For AND, both needs to be true in order to get a true value. So here it will give a false value because there are two conditions, and if we go here, you see that we got false. So if I change this to 10, now A is equals to B and now A is also equals to C. So both statement, the first one and the second one is true. When both are true, then it will return true over here. So if I run this one, so this time you will see that we will get the truth. And in case of OR, so if this is true, then we will get true. If this is true, we will get true. If both are true, we will get true. Right? We will only get false in a case where both are false. So here, how we will use OR in this way. Right? So if I say 15 over here, so A is equals to B, which is false, or I'm saying that either A is equals to B or A is equals to C. But in this case, A is not equals to B. So this statement will give false. But this second statement, A is equals to C, is true. So in this case, the whole statement will return true over here. So if I run this one, you will see that we will get true because it's OR, right? So if I change here a value 15, now A is equals to B, false, then A is equals to C. Again, now both statements will be false. In this case only, it will return false. So if I run this one, and if you open this one, you'll see that we get false over here. So that's how you can, use the logical operators. So if I give you example in terms of a JMeter, you need to check that if the user is active. So your condition is that user should be active, but it should not be expired. Or user is active and the date of birth or the card should be expired. Anything, it can be any scenario. So I'm just giving you hypothetical examples over here just to make you understand that these logical operators will be really helpful when you are working with the scripts. Okay. Then membership operators will check that either it will contain the value or not, because it will check the whole list, and from the list it will say either this particular element exists in this list or not. So we know about the list, so what I'll do is that I'll simply create a list over here, and A is equals to, I'll say 10, 15, 25, and now what I will say is that does this contains 15 or not? Okay, does it contains 15 or not? I'll say 10 in A. Does A contains 10? Yes, it contains 10, right? So that's why we got true. And if I say 20 in A, obviously A doesn't have 20, so it should return false. So you see that we got false. So now, for example, you're working with the API and you want to verify some response, and you got similar kind of a response, and you need to ensure that this response should have a 20 value or not. You can assert the value, right? So there we will learn about different scenarios. Don't worry about that, but just try to understand that why we should use the membership operators, right? And finally, we have ternary operators, and these ternary operators are basically a shorter way to write the conditions. Okay, so what it means is that if I say age is equals to 18, now I'll say if category is equals to age is less than or equals to 18 or 19, and then using a question mark, I will say if age is greater than or equal to 18, so what it should be? It should be called as adult. Else, it should be. It's just like we are writing if-else statement, right? In a simple way. So I'll say minor, right? If the age is 18 or greater, then it would be adult, else minor. And simply I will say print category and run this one. And if you go here, you will see that we got adult. But if I go here and print 17 and run this one, so you will see that we got the minor. We will see these things in detail in upcoming when we actually work on the different scenarios. But right now, just understand how these operators work here, right? So basically, we have covered basic operators which we usually use in the JMeter. So like arithmetic operators, assignment operators, relationship operators, logical operators, membership operators, ternary operators. So these are the very common which we usually use in handling the complexity in the JMeter. However, this is not a limit. You might have now with a different scenario. So what you need to do is that you need to go to this Groovy website and you need to look into the different other operators here. For example, the bitwise operator, you need to compare on the bit level like this one. So you can do this. And for example, if you need, so this is a very good operator called Elvis operator. So Elvis operator is basically a shortening of ternary operator, and the purpose is that one instance of where this is handy is returning a sensible default value if an expression resolves to the false, right? So this is a case over here. So then we have a safe navigation operator. The safe navigation operator is used to avoid a null pointer exception. Typically, when you have a reference to an object, you might need to verify that it is not null before accessing the methods or the properties of the object. So you might have come across where you have to check that the variable or the object doesn't have a null value. So you can go with this safe navigation operator. So just go through this documentation. That would be really helpful when you are working with the operators in the Groovy, and especially when you are working in the JMeter while you're handling the different scenarios. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. If you like our content, then do like, comment, share and subscribe our channel. Once again, thank you so much and see you in the next tutorial.